Is Russia realigning with India? What is going to be the key agendas at India-Russia Summit of 2025? What are the things that India gains and what are the things that Russia wants? As the world fragments into rival blocs, India and Russia are preparing for a summit that could redefine their partnership. This is not going to be a just routine diplomatic meetup, it is going to be a full-time recalibration. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to discuss the India-Russia Summit of 2025 which is upcoming, why it is important, what is the significance of it in the given time and what lies on the table for all of us. So starting with understanding that what exactly is the India-Russia Annual Summit. So as of now, President of Russia is supposed to visit India in the upcoming days, and the whole idea of this summit is set in the context where we are seeing tariff wars, where we are seeing US sanctions, and we are also seeing global energy vulnerability a lot. And in this situation, just before this meeting, both of the nations, by marking their presence that this meet will be happening, have marked and reaffirmed that they remain special and privileged strategic partners to each other. So when we talk about this particular summit, the idea of this summit, that is India-Russia Annual Summit, this was institutionalized in 2000 where there was a strategic partnership declaration from the both ends, and this is the meet where we are going to see Russian president coming to India after almost 4 years. So since this Russia-Ukraine war has begun, this level of meet has not been seen, and this becomes further more important in the context that recently Russia has gone ahead and acknowledged that they understand the kind of pressure that India has been put in, especially by US in terms of trade and tariffs, and Russia has also reaffirmed that there is going to be no third country influence or third country proof which is going to be required for bilateral trade. So this is where we get to see that the special and strategic partnership that we talk about India and Russia has been reaffirmed, and another notch would be added with this very summit. And this also comes on the top of historical background that India and Russia diplomatic ties, friendship ties that we have seen, be it back from the 1970s where we saw the Treaty of Peace, Friendship and Cooperation, and how over the years there has been deep defense, energy and nuclear synergy between both of these countries, marking their partnership. In this very context, now let us try to understand the significance of this India-Russia Summit of 2025. So first thing that we need to understand that the significance or importance, impact, all of this we need to study in multiple dimensions. So this significance, I have broken it down into 3 dimensions here. The first is the diplomatic significance. So when we talk about the high level of trust and the strategic partnership that has been seen, be it the 1971 treaty, be it the 2000 labeling of the status and the renewed status that we saw in 2010, this is a high level reaffirmation that this summit is taking place and the President of Russia is coming here. It also demonstrates that India has strategic autonomy. It is part of multiple global power blocs, but at the same time, when it is going to talk about its own strategic interest, which at this point of time align with Russia as well, we are going to play with our partners. US or the tariffs will not do anything about it. It also signals the commitment to multipolarity. That means we are not going to contribute in any way or become the part of the unipolar world. We will be resisting unilateral sanctions, we will be resisting unilateral actions, and we will stand by reforming global institutions. It is also going to ensure the institutional continuity and stability, especially given the global chaotic times that we are seeing in front of us. And it is a very good example where we get to see partners who are advocating for global order so that the reforms to the global south can be brought in. Apart from the diplomatic significance, in this very context, you will also get to see a lot of economic and energy significance which is associated this with very summit, because as of now it is very important to stabilize Russian crude supply volume because of the sanctions that have been placed and the logistical issues that are cropping up because of sanctions. So this would be another significance for this meeting which will be looked out for. The negotiations which will be taking place in terms of discounts, how to sanction proof the payment system, how to avoid a third party currency or third country currency, and how to ensure cheaper freight as well as insurance amidst the sanction. The decision on this would be significant. Another important thing from India's end would be to look into how to correct the trade imbalance and making sure that India gets a better entry into the Russian markets in terms of pharma, in terms of agriculture as well as machinery. And this goes without saying, connectivity is also going to be a significant point, be it in terms of INSTC or be it the Chennai-Vladivostok Maritime Corridor. All of these would be the major highlights of this summit, and the results are going to be very important for both the partners. Other than that, another dimension that we need to understand, on which for the longest time India and Russia have been together, is towards the defense. Be it the S-400 package updates that are coming, that are expected to this summit, so that there will be confirmation on the remaining deliveries and what will be the integration architecture, the revival of the long-term joint projects, be it Sukhoi M30, MiG-29, and acceleration of the pending deliveries from Russia's end. And also there will be a focus on localization as well as indigenization of the spare components, engine components, ammunition and MRO. So all of this marks that this summit would be a reaffirmation, yes, diplomatically important, yes, but if you look on the economic side, that way also it is very important. If you look on the indigenization side, India's supply chains, that context also makes this very important. And on this very note, I would also like to bring you to the historical relation that we have shared, India and Russia, and how it has evolved over years. Starting with 1971 war, I'm talking about the Bangladesh Liberation War, and this was the time USSR stood and used the veto 3 times in India's favor. It also ensured transfer of advanced platforms during the Cold War to India. 2000s we saw the strategic partnership, the annual summit started. 2010 we saw the status was upgraded to special and privileged strategic partnership as well. And 2019 onwards we have seen a renewed engagement in terms of Eastern Economic Forum, in terms of Act Far East policy, and post 2022 we already know after the Russia-Ukraine war began, Russia became the India's largest crude oil supplier via discounted oil. So these are the major highlights which show that what kind of high points India and Russia's relationship has seen, and 2025 can be another one in the pocket. Another thing that I wanted to bring through this discussion was what are the major areas of cooperation when we are talking about India-Russia ties. So when we are talking about the India-Russia ties, the first major cooperation is the defense cooperation, where there have been key acquisitions such as S-400 Triumph, where 5 regiments, the deliveries are still ongoing, Sukhoi and MiG fleet backbone, and then we have also seen joint development, be it BrahMos, and there are potential discussions on Su-57, the air defense upgrades which are upcoming. This has been another core pillar when we are talking about the cooperation. Other than that, we have also seen that Russia is favoring the localization as well as indigenization, where they are talking about engine upgrades, spare part manufacturing and joint MRO facilities to facilitate India's vision as well. Apart from that, we also get to see in recent times that it has been energy which is becoming another core pillar. Nuclear cooperation, yes, for the long time we have seen, be it the Kundakulam nuclear plant, the units and the further discussions on the small modular reactors which are expected in this summit can also further enhance our cooperation on nuclear energy. Oil and gas, definitely it is a recent pillar that has developed at this particular magnitude, but then it remains important because as of now Russia is the top crude supplier. The discounts have sustained even after the sanctions, and this will be important for India. India would like to push for stable long-term contracts so as to ensure energy security as well. And moving to another key pillar that we have in front of us is the international forums where we have stood strong, be it at the UN, be it at the BRICS, be it SCO, G20, RIC, that is Russia, India, China, and Arctic INSTC. And these are the also places where Russia has stood very strongly with India. I have already mentioned about 1970 UNSC votes. Kashmir issue, India has always seen Russia on its side, where Russia has said that it is a bilateral matter. If we talk about the Pulwama Balakot attack, it acknowledged that India had its own right to act against terrorism, and Russia has supported India in some very important matters, be it NSG waiver, Western arrangement entry, and also BRICS counter-terrorism strategy, and India standing up in that. So all in all, 2025 is another highlight that we are going to see, but across the years, yes, India and Russia have stood very tight to each other. There have been certain issues, certain challenges that I wanted to discuss, one of them being the huge trade imbalance that exists, because if we talk about the imports that we get from Russia are across diverse categories, be it chemical products, machinery, metals. When we are talking about imports from Russia, they are largely concentrated towards mineral products. That means our exports are more diversified, but the volume is hugely different, and there is a huge deficit of more than $60 billion. So the India export market has a lot of potential. It remains low, especially in pharma, agriculture and machinery. Second challenge is the defense dependence, which keeps us in the jam. The supply delays are seen, the diversified procurement is blocked, and indigenous capacity is also hampered. And this partnership also brings in the international pressure and the sanctions as well. So these are few things which are challenges, but the major one here is Russia's proximity with China, because China remains the expansionist adversary that it ever was, and this is a main strategic concern that India needs to address with Russia and China as well. Now on this note, I will be leaving you with a practice question here. You can leave your answers in the comments. These are the options that you have, and the answer for the yesterday's question here is B. That was all for today. Thank you so much.